All right, the Monday Market Report is back after a really successful Central States Numismatic show. Great Collections has turned it up a notch with all of their offerings. And we are going to go ahead and take a look at some pretty amazing coins in this particular edition of the Monday Market Report. Now, if this is your first time here, we talk about modern post-1900 graded coins for you to really sink your teeth into. Now, what's the ultimate takeaway from this? It's going to be the market. If a really good performing modern market has legs and it continues to move up, it's going to affect other bits and pieces of the market as well. All right, things like coins of the 1800s and earlier, it has a ripple effect across all different types of numismatics. Now, when the modern coin market falters a little bit, it's going to affect all the other indices as well. All right, so something to keep in mind. A lot of great stuff. I can't even believe that these are highlighted away from a big show, but yeah, it's a pretty amazing group of coins. This is actually one of my largest Monday Market Reports on record. We have 22 coins this week. This could have very easily been a 30 coin Monday Market Report. You guys know I really don't like doing like those big giant 30, 40 coin Monday Market Reports, because, well, the video ends up being very long, but I take the biggest and brightest stars from this week and mash it all together. We have an incredible mix of coins spanning pennies to quarters, which normally it's weighted to one particular denomination over the other. But I could honestly say this week we have just a overall just really nice healthy spread of really big coins across all of the main denominations that we're going to share with you today. All right, so again, all the coins coming from Great Collections here from the past week. A lot of these sales have ended, so that's why we're able to get some of this data for you today. And I usually like to upload these on a Sunday night, sometimes Monday morning, depending on how the crow flies. But at the very least, when you guys head out for your commute, you're going to have something to listen to. And I hear that all the time, and I appreciate it. That's a really good way to kind of kick off the morning. If you're into coins, currency, and collectibles, there's no better thing to listen to. And hopefully my voice is somewhat soothing enough to tame some of the most savage of beasts out there. We know how our Mondays can get. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in to these listings. We're going to start it off with a couple of pretty tremendous head scratchers, but it's going to be with a good reason. Now, there's going to be a number of coins across today's Monday Market Report that are really tailored strictly for registry sets. And what a registry set is, these are actual dedicated sets of some of the highest graded coins that are assembled by folks that have much deeper pockets than I do. Okay, I'll just go out on a limb and say that. And many tens of thousands of dollars are being pumped into the registry set each and every single month. And this week it's well represented, but not entirely. There's a lot of also nice tight pieces. But we're going to kick it off with a 1994 Lincoln Memorial set. Of course, this one's here for one major reason. It's for that registry set. Now, you're going to notice right off the bat that this thing is incredibly high-graded specimen. This one ended up grading PCGS Mint State 69 full red. It's about as close to perfection as you could get. All right, there's no known 70s of this grade. As a matter of fact, it's a pop 1, which means the population is 1. There's only one example in the 69 red, none higher. All the other examples grade out lower. So obviously, the coin is going to have a lot of cachet amongst the registry set participants that put together Lincoln series sets, which is ironically one of the most widely collected series in U.S. coinage. This particular example, as you would expect, achieved a good deal of money today at $12,674.25. But on the flip side, we also have this 1992 Lincoln, which is also a Mint State 69 red. Now, while the coins appear to be created equally because the grades are just amazing, The difference between this coin and the 1994 that you saw previous is that there are a lot more examples graded in 69 red than that 1994. As a matter of fact, there are a total of 24 examples in the population reports in a mid-state 67 red. So obviously that's going to affect the value of such a coin, but it doesn't downplay the importance of a coin to a new registry set owner of Lincoln Cents. This one right here, pretty substantial price difference, sold for $1,149.61. Now, that just kind of gives you an idea of how much pricing degrades as more examples are being discovered and subsequently graded at these high levels. The higher that population count goes, the more that these coins will drop. So that's why I said, and I'll say it again, these are not wise investable coins for any reason whatsoever. They're made for just a very, very fringe type of collecting, where, there's more money floating around than there are people. All right, so that's something to keep in mind. Make sure you're aware of that. The next one that we have here, this one also another registry set, not nearly as important as the previous two examples. This is a 1958 Lincoln Wheat Cent. It's the final year of this reverse. However, this one is graded by NGC as a mid-state 67 plus full red. In addition, it gets brownie points for having the CAC green bean certification on there, as you can see from the label. Overall, relatively clean example. And it's one that you would expect to see in this grade, especially with NGC. NGC isn't known to have the strictest grading out there. PCGS has that distinction all day long. This one right here ended up selling for $1,749.38. And then continuing on with more registry set bombs, how about 1954S? Another tremendous example, but we've also seen quite a few of these in mid-state 67 plus, which seems to grow on trees. All right, that's how common 67 pluses are. It's only until you get to a 68 where the game changes, and the reason why that game changes is we're staring at another Pop 1. This is the only example graded in a 68 of a 54S out there. So again, registry set people are going to be duking it out just to own this thing. While you're able to find just a run-of-the-mill uncirculated coin at a coin shop for probably 50 cents, grading is where it really separates the men from the boys. This particular example sold for $24,187.50. Never mind all the other stuff. When it comes to Lincolns, this thing is huge. And never in my wildest imagination would I see any 1950s Lincoln Cent achieve the $20,000 mark, but certainly enough. This one right here takes the cake. And the likelihood that you'll see another one here anytime soon, probably not going to be likely. But still, again, I'll never touch it with a 10-foot pole. Doesn't matter how much money I have in my bank account. These things are risky. Just wait until it's a Pop 2 that you could just pretty much half that valuation, in a heartbeat. So, yeah, I mean, it's cool, but it ain't that cool to me. The next one that we have here, no doubt about it, more registry set fodder. And traditionally, a lot of the Lincoln Cents beyond like 1935 are probably going to be registry set pieces unless it's like a Marquee variety or an error. This one right here is a PCGS Mid-State 68 red. Again, another difference maker in a registry set that needs it. This one is a Pop 10, so there's still not a lot of them. But yeah, this one right here is a little bit tougher date. And even with a population of 10, it's still very, very worthy of a coin on this list at a sale of $11,193.75. Again, this is a coin that you won't see too often, maybe once a year. And, when it does come up, there's always going to be one or two or three new registry sets that's going to vie for something like this. And again, once the dust settles, the pricing will always be huge. And we're going to skip all the way back 37 years to our final 1 cent piece on the list. It's going to be this 1902 Indian head cent. I love a good full red Indian head cent. They're not particularly easy to find, and the ones that you do find that are slabbed already, make what you want to make out of them. Mid-State 64 reds and 65 reds sometimes don't quite look the part. Even though these coins are well in excess of 100 years old. This one, however, as a Mid-State 67 red, you pretty much are guaranteed a truly remarkable high-quality example. This one here sold for $10,518.75. Just through the first 6 coins on the list of Lincolns and 1 Indian head cent, we've amassed, I don't know, $60,000 worth of coins. It's pretty amazing. Just this modern market for Lincolns and Indian head cents. All right, now we're on to nickels, and it's just as deep as the Lincoln cents, although the dollar values aren't going to impress you, as far as 5 figures deep. But yeah, we got some nice ones here today. How about 1981p? Again, there's another 1980s Jefferson on the list. There seems to be at least one a week from Great Collection, so they either got a collection in or they had some that they had sent out to the graders and have come back for available consignment. This is a Mid-State 66 with full steps. Not particularly my favorite. I have my reservations on the particular strike designation of this coin. It probably looks a whole heck of a lot better in hand. Pictures can only tell so much of the story, but, until you have it in your hand physically to just inspect it, that's where it's going to matter the most. Again, registry sets for Jefferson Nickels are very huge. They're very, very well collected into, based mostly in full step designations, which can be tough during the 50s and 60s and early 70s. This one right here ended up selling for $1,581.62. Okay, so their big kind of topic of conversation this week is going to be a trio of Jefferson Nickels. Okay, you could probably make the argument of the trio being in any denominations from pennies all the way to half dollars. And here's the big reason why. There were no mid sets released from 65 to 67. So finding actual business strike coins that's worth talking about is quite difficult. All right. So one thing you'll notice, the first observation on this coin is it does not have full steps. This is just a really nice, high quality 1966 Mid-State 67. And that's it. It's just an incredibly lustrous example. But yeah, this particular coin was pulled out of a roll or change back when it was first released, and that's it. All right. Most of these were generally sent out for circulation. A lot of them didn't wear too well. A lot of them had relatively poor strikes. So finding one with full steps is going to be kind of like that big time lottery type coin that will automatically be a 5-figure coin if you could get it attributed with full steps. But from 65 to 67, the only way that you could actually locate a business strike coin is to really look in old albums. That's it. If someone was lucky enough to actually save a roll of these things, there are too many of them. And even if they command quite the secondary market premium. As you guys know, they only made special mid sets. They didn't even have proof coins. So it was a very interesting 3-year range within the 60s where it got really weird. They elected not to do proof sets, but the people were crying about it. So they did these SMS coins, and it was like the great compromise of both a mid set and a proof set, kind of like having a baby, and it ended up, not really impressing a whole lot of people. This one right here sold for $2,925. I know 1965 is a really tough date. In a similar grade, I've seen them go for as high as $4,000 without full steps. So that's something to keep in mind. Always look out for these in old, Dansko albums, Whitman albums. I found a few of these. I own a few mid-state examples for myself. I would say they're not particularly grade-worthy. These don't have any safety net. If they grade anything less than the 67, they're not worth a whole lot. So keep that in mind. If you're going to be hunting for these, only expect and desire true perfection. Now here's a really tough date coin here. I mean, it doesn't need a whole lot of introduction. It's a 51S, all right, so quite tough, quite difficult to find with a full strike. This one, however, does that really well as a mint state 67 with 5 FS, that's 5 full steps, in NGC plastic. Overall, clean coin with some luster, not the strongest I've seen, not the weakest I've seen. It's really like middle of the road. This one sold for $2,418.75. Again, this is a registry set coin right here. And another one, more registry set material, this time in 1948. A little bit easier to find full steps in 40s Jeffersons. However, this one does earn itself a little bit of extra credit with the original eye appeal, the toning on there. This one is a mint state 67 FS through PCGS. And this one ultimately sold for $4,361.62. And then to kind of put in with the same group as well, we have a 46S's here as well. Now, San Francisco and Denver minted coins of the 40s are a lot better well struck compared to any other Philadelphia example. But generally, all the coins of the 40s look pretty good, especially coming out of the silver wartime era of 42 to 45. The quality continued on for a few more years after that. Once it hit like 1951, 52, that's where things kind of went in the toilet. This one right here sold for $4,561.88, which is about $200 more than the previous coin. And our final nickel of the bunch is this beauty. And this is going to be a little bit of a lesson. And that you don't have to search out some of those rarities from the teens and 20s to hit it big. This coin looks like it came out of an old album or holder of some sort. It's a 1937D. It's not a three-legged buffalo, as you would expect for this date, and that's not the reason why it's on here. This is truly for a typeset or a registry set. It's only going to serve two different purposes, maybe as an investment piece, but this is a beautifully toned specimen here as a mint state 68 through PCGS, and this one sold for $15,750. It's not every day that you see one of the more common dates of Buffalo nickels achieve this kind of status. I'm glad to see it, and it won't be the last time, I'm sure, that we'll see one of these sell for that kind of money. All right, Dimes. Dimes impressed the heck out of me this week. We have a 1958 Roosevelt Dime. Now, 56 to 59 proof sets are still a relative bargain compared to some of those earlier proof sets. And it always represents a true kind of like cherry-picking opportunity when you're able to find fully frosted deep cameo coins within these sets. Once you've found one, you really, really have hit pay dirt. And, it doesn't matter if it's the dime, which is the least popular, least collected series among the other U.S. coin types, or a Kennedy half dollar. It doesn't matter. Or a Franklin half dollar in this case. Any coin with any sort of visible frost and just an amazing cameo contrast with those dark black fields are a surefire winner. This one right here, you can't get any better than a 69 deep cameo. You can, but, there's been no examples of a 70 for a 58 out there as of yet. And this one right here sold for $4,612.50. Again, we are talking about Roosevelt Dimes. That's the type of money that we don't normally see out of the series. I think probably the series is getting its due, and people who can't quite afford, say, a Jefferson Nickel registry or a Washington quarter one, they're going to dip their toe in Roosevelt Dimes because it still is a bargain. Now, there is a pretty big reason why this one's here. It's got to be that toning. This is the type of toning I love, where you have clearly defined and separated colors of the spectrum. This is an NGC graded Mid-State 68 star with full torch designation. It looks good. I mean, it is exactly what I thought it would be and more. Just basing it off the grade. It's 47D, by the way, so it's one of the earlier dates. Not particularly rare to find in high grade raw, but the coloring of the toning that you see here, that's not really something that you would find easily, unless you had an old collection with something like that. I'm glad to say that this one sold for $1,181.25, which seems like a little bit of a bargain considering what you're getting. All right, so yeah, not bad here. Now we have 2 Mercury Dimes. They're both proof. Well, actually, no. We have 3 Mercury Dimes, 2 proof, 1 business strike example. Again, toning really wins this one over. It's a 45D. It's the final date of Mercury Dime. This one ended up grading Mid-State 68 full split bands. This thing is in true beast mode for a lot of reasons. The strike designation, the toning. I love that obverse toning. The reverse is kind of like, I don't know. You either love it or hate it. That's for sure. You either love toning or you hate toning, but don't dip your tone coins because they truly are being sought after and scooped up in the marketplace. I would just sell that, buy something else. It's really as simple as that. 68 full bands right here through NGC. This one sold for $2,981.25. Now we're getting on to the proof examples. Now these aren't particularly hard to obtain in the marketplace. You could pick one up easily for under $500, maybe as low as about $250 today. And these 2 examples are high graded and they're also toned. So those are the kind of like the big reasons why these even exist in this week's Monday Market Report. This one right here, PCGS Proof 68 Plus and CAC Green Spotted. This one ended up selling for $44,874. That's a rich amount of money, and deservedly so for what you're getting here. And equally impressive is this 39. This one is a Proof 68 Plus. I would say the only thing missing is that CAC sticker. Now, Great Collections does send their coins to CAC. They probably sent this one, didn't get the CAC green bean for whatever reason. Maybe it doesn't quite match up to the numerical grade for some reason. But again, the owner of this coin could possibly try submitting it to CAC once more and seeing if maybe they'll, reconsider it. Yeah, people do it all the time. People regrade their coins multiple times, not paying any mind to the submission costs and things like that. So this one, the only thing it's missing is that CAC sticker to really complete it as a technically just well out there high end example. This one right here is sold for $32,374.12. I can imagine that a green bean CAC sticker will probably enhance this by about another $10,000. That's how much of a difference maker it can pose to a coin of this ilk. It's just going to be a matter of time before we see one, so we'll see. And then finally, we're going to wrap it off on some 2 bits pieces here. We're going to start it off on one that I'm sure a lot of you are going to be kind of scratching your head. Maybe you're going to go through your brilliant uncirculated rolls of Texas statehood quarters. This is a 2004 P. And if you guys don't know, there is actually a big base of registry set participants within the Just Statehood Quarter series. A lot of the big grades people are aiming for are 68s and 69s. Traditionally, you won't see any 70s here. But this is a really sharp looking coin. And it did grade as a 69, which is up there, in the grading scale. And you're probably curious how much this sold for, because there have been examples of 69s that have kind of sold in that 3 to 4K range, but this was probably 3, 4, 5 years ago. This one right here sold for $6,750, and the big reason why, we have another Pop 1 on our hands. This is a top pop, none finer, and Yeah, this is the ultimate chase prize here. And the last few are going to be these more common old school Eaglebacks. So we have a 1979D. Not the prototypical coin that you would see here, but the market is anything else but typical. And that's good enough to say. The market's still strong going into May. We'll see how it is over the summer, but not to get too much off on a tangent here. We have a Mid-State 68 example. That's going to end up in a registry set. This one surprisingly did sell for $5,464.12. This is something that you will unlikely find in just straight up pocket change. I'll be honest. So you probably shouldn't look, but probably take one quick glance because you just never know. People drop coin collections, at the bank all the time, and depending on how cleanly they're handled, you might have one that'll grade the side. You just never know. But more than likely, it's a long shot. Here you go, one of my favorites, 76D Drummer Boy Bicentennial Quarter. This one's a Mid-State 68. This is the clad version. No, it's not a proof version. And this one's toned. This one spent a lot of time in an album. And I like to look at this one, and it sold for $3,605.62. And here's another one of those beastly deep cameo proof coins. This time of 59. And this one is about as sharp as it gets. The fields, I think, really captivated me. These things are highly glossy and very, icy. Icy to the touch. That's how slick they are. And you're going to have to find one that's pretty slick with the texturized cameo frosting on there. This one's a Proof 69 Deep Cameo, another incredible coin. And this one took me by surprise at a sale of $11,265.75. I feel like cherry picking some of these proof sets just on the basis that you could earn 5 figures from a few of these coins. This is exciting to me. And then finally, of course, original tonings going to complete and round off this week's edition of the Monday Marker Report. How about 1948? Again, not the most difficult of coin dates to look for within the Washington series. This one, of course, is a PCGS Mid-State 68. This is going to be a supreme upgrade in a registry set. And this one ended up selling for $9,450. I don't even know how much the grand total is of all the coins. Maybe $300,000 this week, which is it's like an aircraft carrier's weight's worth of money right there. It's that big. But that's going to go ahead and do it. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. This was a very fun week for coins, following up a very, very big Central States. I know people, they're kind of doing the last minute shopping thing before they go on vacation for the summer. So that might have something to do with it. I know Central States Week has historically been an overachieving kind of period of time for the coin market. So the tradition has continued in a fair way, I would say. But that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this one. It was certainly a pleasure. You guys have a wonderful Monday. Don't work so hard. And I'll see you guys on the next coin video. So long, guys.